Saturday, May 15th, 2021, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So there's a lot to talk about, especially in the silver market. We've seen a story in the last day or two from the Royal Mint in the UK that their sales of silver bars have gone up by 540% since last year in the period for March and April. Also, the sales of 1 ounce Britannias have gone up by 100%. And yet we have Jeff Christian making a fool out of himself. And I'm going to play the clip that someone actually made a really fun video of in a minute. So who's Jeff Christian? Well, Jeff Christian is an analyst for the powers that be, for the bullion banks. He runs a group called the CPM Group. He used to be the analyst for precious metals for Goldman Sachs back in the 80s, for an arm of Goldman Sachs actually called J. Aaron, and then he went independent, but he basically still works for these guys. If you look at this website here, their website, CPM Group, it says consulting. We provide in-depth expert consulting services to corporations, investment funds, and family offices, financial institutions, central banks, government bodies, and international organizations based on our detailed research and analysis. So that's Jeff Christian. He's working for people like the IMF, the BIS, the Federal Reserve, Goldman Sachs. So he's not friendly to us, the silver apes or the silver bugs like Billy here. No, he's trying to manipulate, keep the price from going much higher. He wants to please his industrial and corporate clients. And I admit that investment demand isn't the biggest part of the demand for silver, but it's growing. We've seen with these numbers from the Royal Mint. So before I played this clip of Jeff Christian, I think it was an interview with Kitco. Just wanted to say, I was going to play golf today, but it's not very nice. It's raining. And next week, next Sunday, I have a competition at my golf club, and it's 36 holes. So we're going to play in the morning 18 holes, have lunch, and another 18 holes. So I've got plenty of golf to play in the next week. I also have a match, a second round match of the singles knockout competition. I won my first round, and I'm playing the second round on Thursday. So I might play before that to have a little bit of practice. I played 9 holes yesterday afternoon. So, yeah, Billy and I are relaxing this Saturday. It's wet outside. He has been out already. But, yeah, Jeff Christian. So he made some really outrageous comments. And it's in relation to a story that I covered. Let's see when it was. On the 12th of May. So just about 3 days ago. And the headline of my video was Bullion Banks Overstate LBMA Silver Holdings by 106 million troy ounces or 3,300 metric tons. And that was for over a month. They basically misstated this amount. They said it was an error. And then on the 9th of May, they came out and corrected it. So for the whole month of April, they misstated that amount, and they only came out on the 9th of May. And that was a couple of days after Keith Neumeyer was on Kitco, saying that he didn't trust any of these numbers. And I find it interesting that he came out and said that. I'm going to put a link to that video below in the description. You can listen to the whole interview he did with Kitco, where he basically says, I don't trust any of the Silver Institute or GFMS numbers about silver supplies. And I found it interesting that the LBMA came out 2 days after that to correct themselves. So this is what Jeff Christian said about this. And I'm going to play this clip here. it's quite fun. Someone cut the interview from Kitco and put this on. So let's listen to it.
Like it has anything to do with attempts to squeeze the market. Anything else. We've talked to the LBMA, we've talked to various other groups within the London market, we've talked to some depository managers, and it looks like it was a mistake. One, because it's a 116 million ounce mistake. But, you know, I guess to be fair to them, these guys have only been reporting their inventory since July 2016. I think the first point is that it's no big deal. I'll reinforce that by saying this. No one in the real silver market has batted an eye about this. They said this is a mistake, terrible mistake, embarrassing mistake, but you haven't seen any reaction in the real silver market. Guys on the internet, you know, but the real silver market, major producers, consumers, refiners, smelters, dealers, traders, banks, brokers, no one has batted an eye about it. Most of them aren't even talking about it. It's not central to the market, and it's not central to the price determination. It tells you that it's not important.
So there you go. A few comments about those statements by Jeff Christian. First of all, it wasn't 116 million. Actually, it was 106 million because 3,300 tons is 106 million troy ounces. So, yeah, he got that wrong. Second, the real physical market isn't the market that Jeff Christian covers. Jeff Christian covers the derivative silver market, the paper market, the unallocated market, which is not real silver. It's just credit creation by his clients, the bullion banks. And he said he's spoken to depository institutions. I guess that's J.P. Morgan. Why doesn't he tell us what happened exactly? Which institution reported the amount wrong? Because that's what the LBMA said. One of their members reported the amount wrong. And to be honest, the LBMA is not really an institution that holds any silver. It's its members that hold silver. So if there was a reporting error, they should tell us which depository member did it, and I bet it was J.P. Morgan, but he won't mention it. And yeah, to say that 106 million ounces doesn't make any difference is just outrageous. The other thing he said is that they've only been reporting since 2016, so give them a break. They've only had 5 years to get it right. I mean, that's a really bad excuse and just shows that he's like making it up as he goes along. He knows it's serious. He's just basically very dishonest, in my opinion, this guy. If I were Jeff Christian, I would go back to a cave and never come out again and never talk about the silver market again. Maybe retire to the Bohemian Grove, which is where the kind of people his clients go every year, right, for their rituals. I think he would do a lot better there with his wig as well. So crazy comments, I thought. So the thing is, it didn't really have an impact in the silver market, right, in the real silver market, despite the fact that sales of silver bars at the Royal Mint in the UK went up 540% during the period where the LBMA was misstating their holdings by 106 million. Oh no, Jeff, there was no impact on the real silver market. Maybe the paper market, there is no impact. But I have to say, if we keep stacking and if we keep exposing these people, they're going to have real trouble and they're going to run out of the physical. I know investment demand is still not the biggest part of the demand for silver. Industrial demand is still important, but if we keep moving like we're doing here in the UK, in the US, and Australia, and everywhere else, I even saw a tweet this morning that they're starting to see gold and silver shortages in Germany as well. So it's spreading, and that's why I'm behind the silver squeeze movement. I'm behind Wall Street Silver, and you should get behind them as well. Silver squeeze movement, I think, is making a difference. Wall Street Silver, I highly recommend you follow their Reddit group. It's got almost 80,000 members. I also recommend Wall Street Silver YouTube channel. Hopefully, I will be interviewed by Jim and Ivan soon. I should be on that channel maybe in a week or two. I have interviewed them on this channel before as well. So yeah, let your friends, family, colleagues know about this movement if they're interested, of course, or maybe wake them up to the fact that silver is real money. Silver has been manipulated by these people like Jeff Christian, the bullion banks, the central banks, for decades, if not almost a century, in order to keep the general public unprotected from inflation, because that's what it is. We're not here to see the price go to the moon and then exchange our silver for their crappy fiat currency. We're here to see honest weights and measures, honest money, sound money, and silver is a big part of it. Is it any wonder that silver is in the U.S. Constitution? The Coinage Act of 1792 specifies what a dollar is. It's an amount of silver. Also gold, of course. Gold is part of the monetary system as well. Let's look at the story from the Royal Mint. And I found a story here on ifamagazine.com. It's from the UK. It says Royal Mint UK reports silver shines on 540% increase. So let's quickly go over this story, and then I'm going to go through some of the premiums that we're still paying for silver in the UK. The Royal Mint has reported that the sale of silver bars has increased by 540% in March-April 2021 compared to March-April 2020. The gold-silver ratio has also fluctuated close to 7-year lows. The sale of the Royal Mint 1-ounce silver Britannia 2021 coin also surged by over 100% during this period, with the new anti-counterfeit security features proving extremely popular with investors all over the world. So they quote Andrew Dickey here, Divisional Director of Precious Metals. He says, "We experienced high demand in 2020 as investors flocked to safe haven assets during the heights of the pandemic, but this demand has continued into 2021 as more people realize the benefits of precious metals. Silver has a wide appeal because it has an intrinsic value as a finite resource and offers a significantly lower price than gold, making it accessible for more customers. So far in 2021, silver has continued to shine with elevated demand in the US and Europe. And it's amazing that they still are able to keep the paper price below 30. You would think with these kinds of numbers and stories, silver should be going up like lumber, I would say. As the price of gold pulled back earlier in the year, silver has held strong and slightly outperformed gold, leaving the gold-silver ratio fluctuating close to 7-year lows at certain points. Andrew continues, many analysts predict a bright future for silver, well, except for Jeff Christian and the bullion banks, of course, for the remainder of 2021. Accommodative monetary and fiscal policies, traditional drivers for demand in precious metals, are expected to remain in play as the economy continues to recover from the pandemic. I'm not too sure about the latter comment there. I heard this morning, last night, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, trying to backpedal from opening completely the economy on June 21st. He's now come up with some kind of variant that could stop that. So I wouldn't be too convinced about this recovery right now. Furthermore, silver's use in emerging green technologies have also contributed to the positive sentiment towards the metal. Yeah, but nothing on the price side. I mean, in pounds, we're still below 20 pounds, the spot price. We're still around 27. I mean, with all this demand for real silver, Jeff Christian, silver should be north of $30 or 40 or even 50, I would say. Traditionally known for making coins, the Royal Mint has grown rapidly into the precious metals market over recent years. Yeah, if you go onto the Royal Mint website, they still have a few bars available, but a lot of them are out of stock. And a lot of bars, they say waiting for stock. So they don't even have the bars for sale. It is now the primary producer of bullion coins in the UK, as well as offering a range of digital investment platforms which enable investors to buy and sell fractional gold, silver, and platinum without taking custody of the metal. Well, I don't recommend these digital products because they're not real. It's just a claim. Would you trust an arm of the government? And that's what the Royal Mint is. I wouldn't. I do trust the coins and bars they mint. That's not what I mean. But I wouldn't trust any digital product from the Royal Mint. If you want to own real physical gold and silver, you got to hold on to it. It won't do digital gold. All digital holdings are backed by physical bullion bars, which are stored in the Royal Mint's vault, which is one of Britain's most secure sites. One thing they will do, though, the Royal Mint, which is different from digital gold or silver, is that you can buy your real gold coins, gold bars, silver coins, and they will store it for you, but that's not digital. And even then, I wouldn't trust them to store it for me because they could declare force majeure. There could be a huge crisis, systemic crisis, and all the assets at the mint could be frozen, even your own coins and bars. In February 2021, the much publicized Reddit phenomenon sent the silver price soaring to an 8-year peak. It didn't really soar. We went up from like $26, $27 to $30. That's not soaring. And it was put back down or tamped down by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, with the help of the CFTC right away. Social media traders piled into buying shares in silver mining companies and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, backed by physical silver bars in an attempt to create a GameStop-style short squeeze. Whilst the social media frenzy has since abated, they're wrong about that. And what they're saying here that people are trying to do is not really right. Maybe people went the wrong way by buying SLV, but even that actually hurt the bullion banks because they couldn't access enough physical silver for the SLV, and that's why they had that error, right, of 106 million ounces. Basically, you were buying paper. You were buying nothing if you're buying the SLV. But people are learning now, and this social media frenzy or movement hasn't stopped. It's just beginning. With Silver Squeeze is continuing. Silver Squeeze 2 in the beginning of May. And we should continue to keep stacking. That's the only way to beat these people. It's not trading on COMEX. It's not trading ETFs. There's only one ETF, of course, PSLV, that's worth buying. But just keep stacking and keep Jeff Christian squirming. And maybe he will even lose his wig. Who knows? He's lost all his hair, of course. And of course, I've lost my hair, but I don't see a reason to wear a wig. Anyway, it says here, whilst the social media frenzy has since abated, as I said earlier. Demand for silver has remained strong during March and April for the Royal Mint. Well, because they don't understand that the social media frenzy has not abated. We're not trying to make this a GameStop. We're trying to really expose a fraudulent monetary system and how they've kept not just silver, but gold undervalued in order to keep this Ponzi scheme going. And I think it's far from over. So that's a very good news. So now to some of the premiums that I saw this morning. And I took this from one of the major dealers in the UK. And their prices are always very competitive in terms of where I would buy my silver or gold. People have asked me in the past, my viewers, and I told them, do your homework, search for the best deal. But if you want a credible, reputable dealer that's been in business since 1981, I recommend Gold Investments. I've dealt with them since 2002. I have a promo code, Monaco64. They will match the best price out there from other dealers if you ask them, and they'll give you a small discount when you give them my promo code, 0.5% off the offer price. And you can look in the description section of the video to see how to get in touch with Gold Investments. So now let's look at some premiums for coins in the UK, and I'm going to look at Britannia's. They're the equivalent of the 1 ounce Silver Eagle. They're very popular in the UK because they're coins of the realm, and they don't incur any capital gains tax. If you make a big profit and look to sell them in the future, there's no capital gains when you go back into the fiat currency. That's if you want to, of course. And so let's see if Jeff Christian is right that the real market in silver, there's no problem. The 106 million ounces doesn't make any difference. It's just a little footnote. Or even a billion, Jeff. A billion shouldn't make any difference, should it? If 106 million wouldn't. So I looked at 1,000 coins plus, and I know a lot of people can't afford 1,000 coins plus, but the reason I did is that the more coins you buy, the lower the premium. So I didn't just want to come out and say premiums are like 38%. So I went through the quantities. So for 1,000 ounces right now, plus it's 18% over spot. For 1 coin, it's 38%. For 10 coins, it's 29%. And for 100 coins or 100 ounce worth of coins, it's 21.5%. So much for the market being normal, Jeff Christian, right? And that's why we have to keep going. We have to be patient. And I think eventually the tail that's wagging the dog right now, and the tail, of course, are the powers that be, the bullion banks, people like Jeff Christian. It's going to fall off the dog, and the dog is going to take over. Billy is going to take over. The apes are going to take over, and the tail is going to be nowhere to be seen. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great weekend. Take care. Bye.